The great carbohydrate myth is that carbs are bad for you. Well, I hate to break it to you, but your body has to have carbs to stay healthy. Find out why in this video, and at the end of the video, I'll tell you why almost all of the so-called health experts have got it wrong.
Dr. Terry Shintani, Director of Preventive Medicine at Shintani.
Hi, this is Dr. Shintani. Are you confused about carbs? You hear that carbs are bad for you a lot these days, and you should do a low-carb diet. At the same time, you hear people say that you should do a low-fat diet, which indirectly is a high-carb diet. So who's right? The people who tell you that carbs are bad for you, or the people who tell you that carbs, at least complex carbs, are good for you? The truth is that in most cases, they're probably both wrong. I say this because if they don't tell you what form the carb is in other words, whether it's whole or processed, they don't really know what they're talking about. Let me explain. The body has to have carbs. Your brain has to have carbs to function. In fact, it needs sugar, glucose, to function. So carbs can't inherently be bad for you. So people who recommend low carbs diet then say that, well, you need to avoid carbs because they raise blood sugar and cause diabetes. But they never tell you that the countries that eat the most carbs actually have the least amount of diabetes. But of course, eating sugar is bad for you, right? Not necessarily. If you eat an apple, for example, which is mostly sugar, its glycemic number is 51, which is about 45% lower than table sugar, and about 50% lower than the glycemic number for bread. Well, nowadays you also hear that you should limit grains to control diabetes, right? But according to recent published research, whole grains are associated with less diabetes. This is based on a study of 55,465 participants aged 50 to 65 years old, published in the Journal of Nutrition. So what's going on? The reality is that the effect of carbs on your body varies greatly. Carbs can be bad for you, and carbs can really be good for you. When people lump all carbs together, however, and say carbs this or carbs that, and never tell you what form the carb is in, whether it's a whole food or whether it's in the form of a finely processed sugar or flour product, they probably have no idea what they're talking about. Some carbs will make blood sugar hard to control, and some carbs will make blood sugar easier to control. To find out what carbs are good for you, subscribe to our channel for more information.
This is Dr. Shintani for your health.